Good afternoon, everybody, to another edition of the Walker Roundtable. I'm RJ, or Ryan Walker, as you all know. We're back. In effect, it's a New Year's 2026. We took a little bit of hiatus to, I guess get some Christmas food down, some New Year's food down, get refreshed, reorganize some schedules, and now we're back in effect. I want you all to take this moment and take this time to like and subscribe. Like and
And
subscribe
share
and
and
share,
share.
right? Like, subscribe, share, comment, and really take this content in personally. We're trying to do God's work here by giving you all a unique perspective from three brothers and a father. So let's go around and let's introduce y'all yourselves. I'm RJ again. Scoosh, Book, Bear, take it away. Who are you?
Jeff Walker Sr., Papa J.
I'm Jeffrey Jr., Bobby.
And I'm Justin.
Scoosh, Book, Bear. What's on the agenda for today? What's the topics?
So the topic is what are some childish things that you are still attached to that you refuse to let go of as an adult? And on the other side of that, what is your worst old man habit? So, what are some childish things that you're still attached to, and what are your old man habits?
I think we got a few on both sides of it. You gonna start, Justin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Start.
Let's
I
let's
want to hear
start
this one.
let's start with the childish
He
things
the
that you're still attached
he the
to.
old man. He
I
the old
mean,
man
I
here.
already know what Justin gonna say, but go
I mean,
ahead.
I think y'all all know what I'm gonna
You
say.
already know.
I will never, in my view, outgrow video games. Like video games to me is what movies are to Daddy. Like that's just what it is for me. It's like to me, a good video game is just a great story. It's like reading a book. It's like progressing through a book to me, and it's so enjoyable and relaxing to get through all of the nuance and within the story, and like to see all of the mystery just unravel within a good game. That I feel like it's not as childish as some people think it is. Um, because a lot of games are for adults. I mean, a lot of video games are for adults that a lot of adults can enjoy. And so I really don't see it as something that I would let go anytime soon because I feel like Call of Duty, I mean, even though I don't play a lot of Call of Duty, I mean, that's clearly, more of the adult crowd. And the games that I enjoy are like really mature stories too. And they're really good like simulations, like that racing game that I have. Like to me, I can hop on that racing game and just go at it for hours. And I feel like that's something that anybody of any age can enjoy. So I feel like video games is a very good outlet for like stress. I feel like it's a good outlet for, just to unwind and to relax. And I feel like some people who kind of look at video games as a childish thing to do are kind of shortchanging themselves a bit if they're looking for something to enjoy that they can do to unwind. Because I feel like there's several games. I have several games that I could introduce to somebody if they have a particular interest about something. And I feel like there's a game for it if you like it. Like if you like superhero games, if you like shooting games, if you like mystery games, if you like sports games, like there's something for everybody. And I feel like that's something that um, video games offers that movies offer that what I say books offer. So like I feel like it's a childish thing that some people look at it like, but I feel like it's something that I can still enjoy as an adult. So
Justin, do you have any GTA games?
Grand Theft Auto, yeah,
You do?
I
I
have
think
Grand
there's
Theft
a new
Grand
one
Theft
coming out.
Auto Grand Theft Auto 5.
That game has always been fire. Like it's
Yeah, I think there's a new one coming out
so
this year,
fun.
next year, something like
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
always go and break all the rules and just wait. You can just waste hours just like blowing planes up and driving off of a mountain or something or a highway. Like, it's so
Yeah.
ridiculous. So ridiculous. You just wage war in the middle of like nowhere.
Oh yeah.
For
I mean,
those who
that,
don't know, Justin, if he wasn't a teacher, he'd probably be a professional video game gamer.
Gamer.
He could.
I'd probably be a teacher who teaches video game design. Who knows? I don't know. But like
Yeah, you're good.
that's something that's, that's always been, something that I felt like has been like a great escape for me. Like when like I need something to do, when I need something to, take my mind off of things, I can hop on a game and just like, you know, just let it rip. And so
Justin or Layla likes coming and watching you play video games. You know
yeah,
that.
I feel like
He-
Layla, me and Layla have that same. I mean, and Layla's 9, right? I
mhm.
mean, Layla loves video games just as much as me, and I feel like we'll always have that in common. She'll probably outgrow video games before I do.
Yeah, maybe.
So, what is something that's something childish that one of y'all are like still holding on to, do y'all feel?
Well, I
Who wants to
won't
go next?
I won't ever let go of Disney. And I think we go to Disney and we do things related to Disney a lot now, Layla and I. But when we were
Hmm.
younger, y'all remember that one time that we went to Disneyland?
A long time ago
Yeah,
when you won the
The
award.
disastrous
Y'all,
trip.
huh?
when
Yeah, it
folks got
was
Oh,
sick.
yeah, I
And
remember the
we
disastrous trip.
and we were all
when we were
dependent.
little,
We would
the
depend.
one time we went.
And we were all dependent on one person to with the van. I
So
remember.
yeah, we ain't gonna go into a whole lot of detail.
But
Just we'll
yeah,
just
I remember
say
being in a hotel. I remember being
it
in a
was
hotel
Miserable.
stuck. Like,
it was
can't
a
go anywhere.
disaster of a trip, and I remember us going to Disneyland and being there only for a couple hours.
Mhm.
And that was it. And then it was done. The parade happened, and it was closing. And so.
Yeah.
Since then, I've been trying to get back, and as an adult, I was able to get back, and we enjoy doing all things related to Disney, Disneyland, California Adventure. We went on a Disney cruise for the first time last year, which is amazing. And
So
they
is it just Disney, or would you say like amusement parks or like Six Flags and stuff
So
like that?
yeah, if I would expand it, it's amusement parks. Disney is one that we go to most often than because we live near it. But
Mhm.
I love a good amusement park. I'm a roller coaster type of
Mhm.
guy, so I'm always gonna try to get it on the biggest and baddest roller coaster. And I remember one year we were in Vegas, and Ryan remembers this. We got a pass to go on the roller coaster at New York, New York, and it was an all-day pass.
The day
Get on the ride as many times as you want to. And I
that
pushed Ryan so hard. We got on it maybe about 8 times in a row, something like that.
Mhm.
Ryan was woozy, couldn't, he couldn't stand up. He had to
I
sit down.
turned I turned into daddy because from that point on, I said I'll never do a roller coaster again. And
He was
I was Mr. Daredevil. I was
not
sitting in the
after
front.
that.
I was sitting in the front on the worst roller coaster ride. But after that, I turned into daddy. I said, nope, never again. That was
So
the last.
I broke Ryan when it came to roller coasters that day. And I only stopped because that roller coaster goes upside down. And so, you have the thing that goes over the top of your shoulders. And after so many rides, it would hit up against the shoulders, and my shoulders were sore. That's the only reason why I stopped going on it. But I
Ridiculous.
love
That's
those things. I haven't been on a roller coaster in a while, but
ridiculous.
uh, that's
I
something I
remember
think I'm always.
Raging Bull. Raging Bull was always my favorite roller coaster at Six
So
Flags.
that's a Six Flags Gurney Mills or Gurney,
Mm.
Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And I just enjoy. It's kind of like how the cruises are, but these parks, these amusement parks, everybody's on vacation. Everybody generally is having a good time. Folks are in good spirits. It's something about the smell. It's the same type of smell that you get at a carnival. Like the popcorn, the hot dogs, whatever it is. I love that type of atmosphere, and I like the crowds too. So yeah, beyond Disney parks, it's really amusement parks for me. What about you, Diddy?
Well, when I was growing up, I always enjoyed taking things apart. I don't care what it was. If it was laying around and nobody was using it, I would be taking it apart, from my brother's radio to, something around the house that mama or daddy just laid down and didn't want to mess with anymore. I was taking stuff apart, man. I had stuff apart in that house like you wouldn't believe. It was crazy. And it translated over to my adult life now because I got projects in this garage from power washers to all kinds of stuff that's taken apart and on the floor. But I enjoyed doing it. But as a child, man, I was notorious about finding, don't lay it down, and don't have a screwdriver around or a butter knife. We didn't have screwdrivers and tools. We had makeshift stuff. A butter knife was a screwdriver. It was crazy. We had
The
all kinds of
opposite
stuff.
end was probably a hammer too. The other side,
Yeah,
butter knife.
and it
Yeah.
was crazy. I was taking stuff apart, putting stuff together, and then it translated into things like model cars. I would put model cars together, and then I had this thing about tinkering with stuff. And then it's just translated over into my adult life. Now, everything that I touch, I look at it in a standpoint of if it breaks, can I fix it? Even when I buy something, if it breaks, can I fix it? You know? And so that's not a bad thing. That's just one of those things I just grew up with, just messing with stuff, being curious, just taking
Mhm.
stuff apart. If you guys know me, I'm a known recycler. Most of my equipment in here now came from Ryan. You know, Ryan don't want it. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna recycle it and repurpose it for something. And make sure that I get the maximum use out of it. Another thing as a child, I mean, this is crazy, but I used to wear my clothes because we were so poor. I used to wear it until I couldn't wear it anymore, especially shoes. And now as an adult, I still have that problem, is that I wear my Nikes out until they are worn, gone,
I
and then one of
remember
y'all has to buy a pair of shoes for me.
Well, that's
I remember
until
it
Ryan
was
gets
like
tired of
that.
looking at them, and then
It was like that for one of your hoodies, and like me and Ryan was like, we got to get Daddy a new hoodie.
Oh man, I
Well,
just,
well, here's the thing. I think I only seen Daddy get has a couple of pairs of new Jordans by way of us, and I think I've seen him wear one of them, but I don't know if I ever seen you wear the salmon white pink ones, which are really nice. Have you even wore those?
no, those are like
I don't.
I gotta figure out
I don't
where I'm
understand.
gonna wear these
he ain't gonna wear
Jordans.
no pink shoes. Come
Well,
on.
well, no,
Oh shoot,
it's like pink accent.
it's
Now,
a
Oh,
salmon. They're
it's it,
beautiful too.
they are kind of a piece of artwork, though. I will say, like you see them, you kind of be like, you kind of want to wear those in the house.
Well, the thing is that I'm afraid I might, if I go out with those, I'll get jacked. So I'm gonna be heavily armed when I wear those outside.
They are.
Those are the
yeah,
most
wear them in the house.
unique shoe. They are so comfortable. They are just, you get no shoes. It's like, dang, I can't wear these outside.
But
You
you
gotta
gotta wear them
sport
at
them
some
around
point.
the house.
You gotta wear them though. You gotta
I
wear.
gotta wear those, but I'm notorious about, and that came from being a kid. I didn't have a lot, and it was just bad, boy. We used to wear shoes in the wintertime, Converse All-Stars in the wintertime in Wisconsin. And that's what we had. That's what my boots. And I wore them suckers from playground to snow. And the next thing you know, they'd have holes in them. And I'm like, good Lord, what am I going to do now? And so I had to make do with what I had. So as an adult, that habit kind of carried on with me, and I'm looking now, I got these same pair of Nikes from about 7 years ago that, I just wear them and I just wear them and I'm gonna wear them and I'm gonna wear them. I threw one pair away finally, regretfully. I spilled some paint on them, but
You had a
that's
backup.
one of the,
I,
You had a backup pair, didn't you? You talking about
yeah, I got a backup pair. I had a backup.
I think, hey, it got so bad. I think I just took Daddy to Coles one day and I got him two pairs.
Yeah,
It was,
that's true. It's
Forgot what we
true.
was doing, but
He's
I was like,
Brian. Brian comes
what
over to the house
was it?
and he looks down at my feet and he goes, "Let's take a ride. Let's take a ride." I didn't know where he was going, so we went into Coles and he bought me a pair of shoes and he says, "Man, put these on. Let's go." And I said,
No, I
"Okay."
said, grab another pair because you're gonna need a backup
Yeah.
pair when you
I'm like, okay,
wear
man, because
these
I,
out.
I'm so
Danny,
used to
please.
buying y'all shoes. It's like, I couldn't get used to that, They buying me shoes, so I'm taking advantage of it.
Yeah, please,
I,
Danny, don't let your shoes explode.
Yeah,
I
Now,
mean,
here's
I'm
We got
kind of the
other
same
stories
way
about
though.
shoes exploding. We don't need your shoes exploding.
well, you know what,
no,
Bobby? This would be a good platform for
This ain't a good time for me to
you
tell my
should tell
story.
that story. It's like the funniest story ever.
You
But
have an
anyway, go ahead.
exploding shoe story?
Yeah, I got
Well,
an exploding shoe story, but it's not the time.
but yeah,
it's a Zion Williamson story, right?
No, no. My
because
shoe, my exploding shoe story is worse than Zion's. But
it was by choice.
well, I say that one for another day. Come up with a good topic, Justin, so that I can tell that story, and then I will.
Oh Lord, you got to get the backstory of it.
I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
this.
It's
I
a
don't
whole
know.
thing.
I need to hear it because I ain't never heard it.
Come up with a good topic for me to tell that story, Justin.
But
Um,
that's it about for me.
okay, okay. Ryan, what about you? Anything that you brought to your adulthood from childhood that you can't leave?
Um, I was gonna say like at first I was gonna say humor because everyone knows I like to joke, but I think that's just a personality trait. Like I like to just pick and kind of tease a little bit. And I love that. But I think if a real childish, like a childish thing, I really enjoy cartoons and animation. I've always been a Saturday morning cartoon person. So like all the Disney movies, all the animated movies, even just the cartoons like Cartoon Network, like I watch that stuff and like I'll watch it with my daughter and I'm like watching it for real. I'm like, like she's like watching these movies and I'm getting the kick out of it still. And it's especially like if I'm feeling down or stressed, that's a real good way to pick me up and bring out the inner child is to watch one of those animated movies that they have on Disney. They have a nice collection on Netflix or just any of the cartoons that's on TV. You know what I mean? So I think for me, that's always been a real good, solid way, especially like when Disney shows those real old cartoons that from like the '90s and the late '80s when we were babies. Um, that made that like brings a whole lot of light and a whole lot of happiness to my spirit. And then I think another part too that I just got a kick out of, and it's not a cartoon, but it's they had the old Power Rangers on TV, and I just watched. And it's so cheap. I used to think it was the best thing since sliced bread. Me and Bobby used to, and I don't know if Justin was big enough. I think Justin was still a baby, but I remember I had this crush on Kimberly. You remember Kimberly, Bobby?
The
The
Pink
Pink
Ranger.
Ranger. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody
I
remember Kimberly.
remember.
Okay, so Kimberly ended up looking just like my girlfriend in college. It's ironic. They had the same look. They
Mhm.
look like
You went
twins.
after her.
Yeah. What you say?
You went after her, huh?
Oh yeah, it's so funny. But in any instance, we used to sit up and Zach the Black Ranger and Kimberly was my big crush. Ended up having a girlfriend that looked like her, ironically, and then Billy the Blue Smart Ranger, and then and then Tommy was the cool one. He was the crazy one who was the White Ranger and the Green Ranger. I'm
That's the
representing
one I
Tommy.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rest in peace, Tommy. He passed away. I think it was last year, or year before last. But yeah, I mean, and like it was just like the bad guys were so cheesy, and they had like these stupid costumes on, and they're like, and then they get big, and then they like morph, and then it's like this fake city, and I was laughing. I can't stop laughing because like every move when they like get big like that and they strike is like it's like a firework. It's like boom, and then they like, they're like fighting like this. And I used to think it was just like the best animation. And we were, I think, so serious when we were kids and so into it, like, go, go, Power Rangers. And we would just and so for me, I think it brings that out. It brings a period, it's like a happiness period in peace for me where, thinking back to when I was 5 years old and we were in that room, Bobby's old room, looking up. I remember he had a little bitty old television little black television that
Oh,
we
you
thought was
remember
big. We thought was the big TV, right? The
that?
big TV. Bobby had the big one.
On the dresser.
Yeah, on the dresser, and we would look up. I remember like it was like we were it was like real high. It was this big high dresser like, and we was like looking up at this big thing. It was like 7 feet in the air, and we're watching that. And I remember on Saturdays, and I still do that. Like if I wake up early enough and I'm still trying to I get my little caffeine and stuff going, I still will watch that. And every now and then they'll play those old Power Rangers, and that's just the kid coming out of me, and I'll sit there and watch it, and I just get a kick out of it. It puts me in a good mood. I mean, every single time, for sure.
Yeah, I got a couple of things that kind of in that vein, like old wrestling, like old like 90s to early 2000s wrestling, WWF. Like that's something I feel like I'll never let go of. Like wrestling as a child for me was like I like daddy would get so annoyed because it would always contradict the time when he want to watch sports. And I'd be like, Daddy, you gotta change it to The Rock and Stone Cold. I gotta see what's going on. And so like wrestling videos, even to this day, still get me hyped. The old ones, like when The Rock and Stone Cold are fighting, it's like it's so classic. Like I feel like I could never let that go, even as an adult. That is so
We're
entertaining.
in the same boat because me and Justin have this long-standing. Well, I think all of us, all three of us do. We all, but I think it's just mainly me versus Justin and me versus Bobby because I like to mess with him. We're always ribbing all the time, right? All the time. But when
Mhm.
me and Justin rib, we we throw those videos back and forth, and like a lot of the times it'd be funny because then we'll be talking with the video. Justin to send Stone Cold what, and then I'll send something to The Rock and say if you smell, and like we're having a whole conversation with the videos, and it'd be so stupid, but it's so funny because back in that era. Like these guys were so talented. Not only were they athletes and they were physical specimen, but if me and Justin would always laugh because like really they would have like 3 matches and each match was only like 2 minutes, right? So you had 2 minutes per match, but the show was like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. It was like 7 to 9. So what does that tell you? That tells you that
Just talking trash.
yeah, you only have about 6 to 10 minutes of like the matches, like the prelims, the little semi, and then the championship fight at the end, and it's always real dramatic, and the Rock is bouncing off the ropes, and it's like the stars, right? But then it's theatrics, and it's acting, and it's comedy, and it's scripted, and it's hilarious. It's like must-see TV, and it's reality television at its finest. I mean, I think the
Mhm.
Rock and Stone Cold did it. They were like neck and neck. I give them 1-1 to win Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. Like before them, Macho Man was my favorite wrestler of all time, and he was the funniest. I swear, he just
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's Diddy's favorite too.
oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
I could
You know
not
that
stop laughing when
video?
I see him.
You know that video? I think Kenny Jr. sent it to us a long time ago, where it's Macho Man. He's got all of these little creamers, and he's saying the
I'm
cream
the
rises to the top. It's a
Yeah.
video.
cream of the crop. Yeah,
Yeah, I love
crop
that video.
rises to the top. On balance, on off balance. I'm the cream, cream, cream.
Oh,
Man, you
he's
know
just
what?
Yeah.
Papa Walker told me that wrestling was fake when I was like 10 years old, and
Burst your
Crushed
bubble,
you.
huh?
It crushed you.
it hurt my life.
It's like when Bobby told me Santa wasn't real.
I ain't tell you that. No, you making it up now.
you know,
Oh man, I hate that.
your Papa Walker, man, he didn't have a filter, and when every time I saw him, it was two things, it was always, boy, you getting fat, you know, he would always do
God,
it,
dog.
boy, you getting fat, and he would always, kind of critique your haircut,
Dang.
he would critique your haircut, but I learned my lesson, when he went, when he got older and started getting a little bit more senile, I guess.
Mhm.
I always used to hit him before he hit me. I hit him before he hit me. He'd be sitting there, I'm like, hey man, you gained a little weight. And he would bust his bubble, you know, or something like, man, you're getting a little thin on the top, you
Mm.
know. and he kept his hair till he was like 87. I'm like,
Mm.
I lost mine like last month. But anyway,
Get that from him.
um, but yeah, he was that way. He would always do that with you, Bobby, with giving you a reality check on everything,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. He
But he did
did.
it in the most soft-spoken,
And he was into
soft-spoken.
basketball a little bit, but baseball was his thing. Yeah, baseball was that was his passion. If you had a baseball game on or y'all were playing, shoot, that man was right there watching.
Oh yeah, he used to come to a lot of the baseball games in Little League. I
Oh
remember.
yeah, he was right there watching because it took him back when he was playing. He thought he was just Ken Griffey. He thought he was Ken Griffey. And I know he was good. I know he could play a little baseball in the back in the day. He loved that game. He came to see me play in my college days, man, when I was playing basketball. And came to high school too. Came to high school games and saw me play. And there's another little story I won't tell you, but going back to this video thing, when y'all talking about Stone Cold and all that, and it gave you this hype, right? I mean, you would watch that and you guys would get hyped. I'm like, after watching y'all watch wrestling, I mean, y'all could just go outside and just throw bricks at each other and wouldn't hurt you, right?
Each other, yeah.
Man, I used to get that feeling when I was watching, and I still get that feeling when I'm watching Jordan. Is it the running of the Bulls, those videos that came out when they ran to the championship? I think it's called the running of the Bulls.
Yeah.
For the last dance.
One of them.
One of them, right? I got the videos. I can't remember the titles though, but every time I watch that, I know who won. I just know who won. I get hyped and I'm sitting there going like, yeah, like when he hits a shot, yeah, and I sweat. My hands get kind of crazy, sticky. And I'm like rooting for this guy. I know who won the game. I know every play, but it just hypes me to a point where, it's like, even last night I was watching the Bucks in LA, and the Bucks beat LA last night, and I'm a LeBron fan, I'm a Luka fan, but I'm a Giannis fan like you wouldn't believe. I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan. And they were just running the Lakers. They gave them their lunch yesterday like it was nothing. I'm a Luka fan, but he has no defense. I'm a LeBron fan that forever, and he was killing. I mean, at 41 years old, this guy is just phenomenal. But those videos, man, of watching Michael Jordan, the running of the Bulls, oh man, it's just like I'm right there, and I'll turn it up. I'll get in this movie room, and I'll turn that up, and that theme song, when you're in Chicago Stadium, I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. And then the NBA theme comes on. And I put that in my workout routine too. This is my workout routine. The
Well,
NBA theme,
NBA is back on NBC now, and they got the theme music back.
the original theme.
The original one.
That's the
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I put that in my workout music. And I got the NBC, one of the originals. Dun, 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 dun. Oh man, and I get hyped. I
Mhm.
just get hyped. And on the last note, I was going through some of my high school clippings yesterday because your mama had to put me to work cleaning the closet out, right?
I heard
So I
about
opened up the scrapbook, right? And I look at the box scores on some of these games. Man, I was dropping 30 on these guys. I never realized it. I never realized it. I was dropping 30. I'm like, I said, your mama, she came. I said, look at this. She wasn't interested.
it. You
And I'm
realize.
like, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
call,
Oh yeah.
I'm
Whatever.
gonna call your Uncle Cleo.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
gonna call your Uncle Cleo.
Anyway,
Right.
this box, Jeff.
Man, it's like your Uncle Cleo, man, he's sitting there clipping where he dropped 27 on me.
Uh-huh.
No.
When we were playing against each other in college, we played each other in junior college up in upper Wisconsin. And so he dropped 27. He sent me the clipping. I'm like, dang, yeah, I can't remember when I scored, that many points. But man, I scored. I looked at this one clip and it was 29, 30, 27, and she wasn't interested, you know. But anyway, I digress.
So sad. Now, I
Yeah.
got one more before we move to the washed up old man habits.
Mhm.
Arcade games. It's similar to you, arcade in general, right? So it's kind of similar to what Justin said. But Justin, you were
Mhm.
talking about video games at home.
Mhm.
I'm talking about going to the arcade and playing like the old school NBA Jam or
So
Resident Evil,
like a Dave and Buster's type of thing.
like a Dave and Buster's, like a round one. Yep. Um, Playing the basketball game against somebody else.
Mhm.
Actually, I
Yeah.
think I played Daddy last time we went to main event.
Oh yeah.
We won't talk about that, Daddy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
you
yeah.
score you
Yeah,
scored
I'll
30.
leave you alone.
You just talked about how you were scoring 30, so we ain't gonna talk about that.
So
Yeah.
who won that?
We
He
uh,
won.
he won.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hey,
And then
right. Bobby was in
and
front of Layla. That's the only reason.
she I
Layla
had
was
to
there going
impress
like, "Oh, my dad can play."
her. I had to show
Oh,
something. But I love arcade, going to an arcade and having a good time there and playing all of the games and Mario Kart and everything else. So I think that's something that I loved back when I was little. I'm gonna always love that.
you
But
know what? It's the same. It's the same thing for me. I'll say this. I get a kick out of the arcade stuff, and here's something for me and me and Bobby have this connection because it's been a long. Last time we went on a cruise was in 2000. When did we go on a cruise, Bobby?
a long time ago.
It was a
Uh,
long time. It was a long time ago. So it was like 2014, I think. This is when we
mm,
went.
mm.
And I remember we were trying to find something to do until the excursion or we reached some island, and we went to like one of the lower levels of the ship, and we ended up playing Jurassic Park. And I think that, and the cool thing about
Oh, yeah.
the ship is that all the video games and stuff, like all that stuff is free. So you could just play until your heart desires. We sat there literally until we went from one island to the other, and we were playing it for hours. Hours like those, shooting games and things like that. It's like a dopamine release. I think for me, it puts you at ease. It's like being on the water, relaxing. And I think it's the same feeling that I had because I took my daughter to main event a couple of days ago. And she's way better. It's funny to me, like how it's in her DNA. Like I thought I was good at that stuff, but she's like way better at those get like like all of them. She's almost five, and she's like just way better. Always beating me at like Halo, and I'm always losing, and I be trying. I'm like losing. Shit
I mean, you
explodes.
gotta think like these kids were raised in front of tablets and technology that allows them to
Right.
be able to have those skills.
Right. So I mean, but it's funny because she always says it, and she loves she loves to tease me, especially in front of her mama, and oh, mama, daddy, and that whole thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, whoop-de-doo in front of your mom, right? So it's all, and she just loves doing that. And and I think for me, it kind of it brings a lot of joy to my spirit, when I see that we have that in common, but she's better than me. It makes me feel a certain way, actually, generationally, because my thing is I want for her to be elevated. I don't want her to just walk in my footsteps or be better or be promoted, like be a little bit better than me. I think I want her to be a lot more. I want to impart everything I have so she's better than me, way better. Life is way easier, and that's that small stepping stone. I'm like, she's way better at video games than me. She's even way smarter than I ever could be when I was four. And so that's just kind of one of those things that it's a childish thing that I think you can glean deeper into the future and kind of like the wisdom that you impart. So just anyway, food for thought.
That's good.
yeah. I
Okay,
see
Justin.
that. I see
Oh,
that
good.
with you guys, wanting to be, I wanted you guys to be better than me. And I see that now. It pays off for me because you guys are better at a lot of things that I never could comprehend. I mean, I look at you guys and I'm like, gee, I can call Bobby for this. I can talk to Justin for this. I can talk to Ryan for this. and that this is a testament of how you guys, you're just above where I was at that age. So, because hey, man, I tell you, at your age, when I was your age, shoot, it was a whole different ball game. There was no technology around like that and all that good stuff. But, now that the technology is out here, you guys are so much more advanced than I ever was. And that's a good thing. So, your kids, they'll benefit from it, no doubt.
I
Go
appreciate
ahead.
that, Daddy. I'll say this real fast too that um, Daddy was the first. He had the first computer that I had ever seen, the old Commodore, and then
Mhm.
he used to, it then graduated to some other kind of computers. I don't know what they
The
were.
gateway. You remember the big
Oh yeah,
gateway?
gateways. Okay, yeah.
The
So
big
so
gateway. Yeah.
he started us off on that technology journey. So I appreciate that, Daddy. And then yeah, Layla and Soraya. Layla is way better at anything that I've ever done before already. Right, better than compute at computers than I am at 9 years old. She's at a computer class right now. Better at
Oh, oh, nice.
I'm better at video games. I can't beat her in anything Roblox related. She's shutting it down. She's gonna beat me. So, yeah, that's what it's all about, right? It's
Yep.
trying to make your kids better than you, right?
Mhm.
That's our goal. So appreciate that, Daddy.
Mhm.
Justin, what old man habit do you have?
Oh, I got a few. Um, for one, I could say taking a nap on command is one of my old man habits. Like I will be able to be like Ryan can attest to this. He said, "Hey man, I called you. I texted you. I was asleep, brother. Like, I was taking a nap. Sorry. But hey,
Yeah,
that's
and
one
you
of my
pick the
old
phone
man
up and you
habits.
call. You either pick the phone up or call. You still be sleeping. It
Hey,
sound like Boo Boo
hey,
Bear.
I'll catch you. I'll catch you when I wake up. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna get the old groggy voice like, huh? What was that? I'm sorry, I was asleep. My bad. But yeah, like taking a nap like at any
Every
point in
day?
the day, any point in the day when I can catch it. I mean, like, my I feel so tired and drained from work to the point where it's like if you give me a nap, like I will feel more excited about a nap than like going out to a club. Like that's honestly like my feeling now as an adult. Like relaxing at home. That's probably an old man have relaxing at home, taking a nap and just enjoying time at home than going out, that is probably my biggest old man habit. Because like right now,
That's
like
growth. That's growth, though. I don't know if that's old man habit. That's like time.
Comfortability.
I mean, but honestly, like whenever there's an opportunity to like go out, um, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna take the option where I get to stay home. And so like that's just me. Whereas like I'm a homebody. I've been a homebody, and it's like I've never felt that I can enjoy time outside more than I can enjoy time inside. Like I've always felt like I can enjoy my time indoors more so than I can enjoy my time outdoors. So that's I guess one of my old man habits. Like another old man habit I feel like is is fashion as far as like being comfortable more so than being like gaudy,
Mhm.
right? Like I don't dress like I feel like that kind of ended in high school for me where it's like you try to dress to you gotta have your shoes perfectly white or something like that like or you gotta have the latest gear or whatever. It's like I don't dress to like like when I'm outside, I'll be presentable. I'm looking decent, but like I don't dress for attention. I don't dress for, oh, I gotta, have everybody's eyes on me when they see me in this outfit. Like that's not the priority for me anymore. It's like, I dress for comfort more so than, the fashion or to be fashion forward. Um, so like Ryan said, that possibly, is another sign of growth. Some people may call it old man habits where, like folks are still, in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, still trying to dress like in the latest fashion because they saw some celebrity wearing it or whatever. It's like sometimes I see the latest fashion and I think it looks stupid. Like whoever came up with those, I think it was Kanye with those red boots that everybody was wearing for a while, and folks was thinking
Them big old
fire
Mario boots,
hydrants.
them big old
It's
Mario
like,
boots. It looked like he was about to chase King Cooper with them doggone things on.
and it's like I can't understand like how some people actually like buy this stuff. And it's like, like I remember seeing something Balenciaga. Balenciaga was trying to sell a metal boot, like an actual metal boot. Like
They probably got some sales.
Oh,
like
sure.
me
They got some sales, I bet.
metal boots for like thousands of dollars. And I'm like, what? I'm
Could you
like,
Was
imagine
that
driving
real?
in that? Can
it's
you imagine
real. I'm
driving in
telling
that?
you. Like, man,
Or real
it
legend.
looked, you know what it looked like? It looked like a Tesla Cybertruck on your foot. That's what it looked like.
Wow.
That's what it looked like. It was so terrible. And I'm like, I can't believe people are buying this thing, are buying these things for the sake of fashion. And so like that's another thing. Like dress up for comfort,
By the way,
more so for
Justin,
fashion. Yeah.
do y'all ever watch occasionally the guys in the NBA walk down the tunnel? Walk.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they be dressing all kind of crazy.
Oh man.
I mean,
And I think that actually goes to like it's being because I like fashion and I like to I'm a shoe head and stuff like that, but I agree with Justin on the fact that I don't dress like I dress for myself, and there's like I dress how I feel. So if I want to dress up and I want to be real, um, I want to put a Ralph Lauren shirt on and some nice Sperry's and some jeans, I can do a little bit more casual. Now, if I want to put some Jordans on, I can do that too. If I just want to put my slides and some athletic gear on, I can do that too, but it's how I feel. Like at this point, like I don't feel like it's how I feel, and I think being comfortable with self is literally the key. Like I'm not gonna ever let anyone influence like how I put on clothes or how I should whatever. It doesn't matter who it is, you know. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. And so like my last thing is and this is probably something that I've noticed more and more because I'm a teacher and I spend so much time around kids. Like my one of my old man habits is I hate hearing and try having to learn new kid slang.
Oh.
Like I hate it now. And it's like when I first heard the term like Riz, like I know what Riz is. This has been a while. It's been around for a while, but it's like
I just found out what it was
what
last
is
week.
it?
I didn't know what it was
it's
until
basically
last week.
it's basically charisma. That's what it's Riz. Like if you got game or something, right?
I got Riz, right?
Right. I got Riz basically mean you got charisma, you got game, like when talking to like women or something. And it's like that type of stuff when I have to like learn it and understand like new slang, like folks be like, "Oh, you gaslight me." Oh, I'm like, dude, like I'm like, what is this? Like, when did this start being cool? Like, I'm like, yo, just shut up. I'm like,
That's
No,
old
like,
man. That's real
when
old man,
when
Justin.
everybody started saying, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon. When everybody started
6'7".
saying 6'7", I was like, if
Yeah.
y'all don't just get all the way out of six
oh my
seven,
God.
six
Oh,
seven,
but
six
the
seven,
thing is
like
that well, we got Daddy now here, so we got to ask him. Did you feel the same way when we were saying some slang words when we were younger? Right? Because we were saying tight, fresh,
I
Yeah.
still say
all
tight.
this other stuff, right?
And
like
Salty.
at least I knew the definition of it. There
Hmm.
was no like secret code to none of this stuff. When I was growing up, man, that's bad, or that's bad,
Yeah.
that's fly, or that's real fly, you know. Those types of terms I understood, but there's no this secret code iPhone crap. I have no idea, what none of these kids are saying. And I'm like, man, it's a foreign language. Maybe it's a translation app on my phone.
That's a
Really?
good. That's a really good app idea. You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah, it's
know.
like, come on, man. Some of
Yeah.
these kids, I hear them talking because the school is so close. When they get out at 3 o'clock, They come down in little gangs and they're talking, and I'm like, what are they saying? Jeez, just don't throw nothing at the house, you know. But I don't understand, a lot of this stuff. And I hear, like your cousin spent, the weekend here, during Christmas. And I'm listening to him, two boys, and I'm like, I can't understand a word they're saying. I just can't understand a word they're saying. Y'all want to eat something? And then they'll give me an answer. It's like, are you hungry? They give me an answer like, mm. And I have to turn to one of those mothers and go, what did he say? I have no idea. It's
Was that
crazy.
yes or no, or maybe?
You hungry? And then some of the kids, nowadays they just mumble. They won't talk to you clearly, concise sentences, and it's a mumble rant, and you go, what did he say? What did he say? Kind of thing going on with this guy, and it's like, they mumble it under their breath, they kind of hide, I'm like, hiding, talk to me, man. What's up?
Hmm.
It's crazy. And I don't know why, we live in Houston, and I don't know why these kids wear skull caps all the time.
And a
You know,
100
Oh
degree
my
weather.
God. And
I don't
hoodies.
understand.
And
I'm
hoodies.
like,
They don't get hot.
And 90-degree weather.
it's hot. I'm like, I'm gonna check you for weapons. You know, it'd
It's
be
so
hot.
crazy.
It'd be hot, and they got a hoodie, and they got a skull cap down, and it's like Baby Joker. It's like right here.
This is fashion.
Or
Yeah.
below. It's like, Baby Joker wore his like right here, right?
Like I asked one of my students this like a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, why do y'all wear hoodies and hats like it's wintertime in the summer? And he said that's we just feel comfortable. It's fashion. I'm like, dude, I'm like, y'all sweating. I know you hot. I know you sweating underneath that hoodie. I know you hot. It's 100 degrees and I'm sweating in a t-shirt. And you have a whole hoodie and a skull cap on like it's 20 below outside, but it's 90 degrees. And I'm like, and it's like that because like, something that I realize about these kids a lot of them come to school like it ain't like when we were in school where kids tried to like dress to impress each other. These kids come to school in like pajamas. Like they don't care about like fashion. They don't care about, a lot of these kids come to school looking like they just rolled out of bed and like that roll out of bed energy comes with a hoodie and sweats and that type of thing. So like that's how they just come to school comfortable and like even though it's 90 degrees outside, they may be wearing that same hoodie that they just rolled out of bed with.
Well, and see, I think that's the issue, like presentable. I mean, my child is about to be 5, and I mean that'll never happen. You got to be neat and presentable when you go to school. Have your stuff pressed, have a presentable shirt, have presentable
Mhm.
pants or shorts, and I think that's become the new fashion. It's backwards. Like it just makes no sense because I see that too. I've seen that too with like, friends of mine with their kids, and their kids are kind of in that teeny bopper sort of, either middle school or teens in high school. And that's like the new fashion. The new fashion is to look like almost to look like you haven't bathed and look dirty, these Crocs and stuff like that. And I'm like, why? I remember it was like a thing to get dressed to go to school, right? Where I would get my pants out, I would have my fresh Nike Airs ready.
Had it laid out in the bed with the shoes at the bottom of the bed,
Man,
just
you know what I'm talking about? I had a
yeah.
you had the whole fit ready, and it would be laying there, and then I would hang it up.
Mhm.
I would hang it up in the closet. So I'm like, and then I would lay the underwear on top of it, on top of the tank top. Have my you get what I'm saying? So it was a thing, right? And so I
Mhm.
remember, and then Carlos would pick me up, and we would be looking at each other. Carlos said he'd have his little velour fit with his fresh white airs. I have my little ice cream airs on. That show y'all how long ago this was. The ice cream airs, boy. And then you would go fresh.
Mhm.
Creases everywhere. Bobby was good
Mhm.
about having his creases down his corduroys when he was go to school too. He was clean with it. His creases would be good, but nowadays these kids
There.
they be looking like they need to be bathed and groomed, and I mean, and I'm not saying that you can't, like, you don't have to go so over the top, right? Even if you just wear a jogging suit, right? If that's not your thing, if you're not, whatever, a lot of these kids, I think, are glorifying the idea of unclean, like looking just unclean and unkept. Like that's like the new style now. I don't know where it comes from. It's like, comfort dress
I think
way
it's I think
overcorrected.
it's kind of come from that like that COVID culture of like having to
That's probably it. That's
be at
probably it.
school at home all the time.
That's
And so
probably
like
it.
I think a lot of these kids associate school with with staying home and like oh rolling out of bed in my PJs coming in the class at the computer, just in a pant some hoodies and some jogging pants. And I feel like, once they came back to school, they just didn't grow out of that habit. So maybe that's where it comes from.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But what are some old man habits from you, Bobby?
So okay, so I'm gonna jump back on that slang because every
Hmm.
time I hear a new slang word, and believe me, I hear them every day, I I feel like an old man. Like, man, that don't make well, what y'all was saying before. That don't make any sense. What does that mean? You don't even know what it means, but you saying it.
I
Man, I
don't
hear,
Hmm.
know.
a whole lot of that.
6'7".
Nobody know what half of this stuff is, but they say it all the time. And while y'all was talking, I looked up a list of this Gen Alpha slang.
This
So
is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
break
good.
down
This is
some
gonna
of
be
them.
Oh
good.
Lord.
This is gonna be good.
All right, here we go. So Justin already said Riz,
Hmm.
Skibbity. Y'all tell me if y'all heard any of this stuff.
No, man.
I've only heard Tony Baker say skibbity pat. Or I
Oh,
don't know skip
Okay.
skibbity
Or just
pat.
clapping
Yeah,
taps on.
like
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, here it is. I ain't gonna go through the definitions, but I'll just read them down. So Riz, Skibbity, Bussin, Slay, Bet, Cap, No Cap,
All right,
Brand.
that's all right, Cap. Like I like Cap, but I didn't know what it meant for a minute.
Oh,
But
well,
I
yeah, I
like
mean, it
Cap.
mean lying, like you
Right.
lying,
No,
I
right?
like
yeah.
Cap
Well,
though.
here's
That's
the
what it
thing. It's
mean.
like, how can I put it? Yeah, it's like I'm putting the cap on it, right? I'm cap like
No, no, no. It means
you
No,
it
it
means
mean it
lying.
it
mean like
means
you
You
lying.
lying. You
it
lying.
say you like.
You reach your limit. Hitting your cap,
No,
right?
no, 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 no. No,
No,
You
it
it
means
mean
lying.
it just seems means lying. It seems
it just means you
it's
lying
like
about
oh
something.
I've
Oh,
been to
that's
the
cap.
moon. I've been to the moon before. Like that's
Oh, that's
cap. That's
cap.
what
That's
that's
cap.
what it means.
That's how
Like
you.
you
Yeah,
capping. That's what
I
it
always
means.
thought that it meant you lying, but you like reached your capacity. That's what you've reached your capacity for telling the truth, and now you're lying. So I thought came from that, or maybe I'm being too formal.
Maybe,
So okay, so
but
the next
I
one.
like cap though.
Look, every time we go to like Chick-fil-A or something, I tell Layla that any fries that drop at the bottom of the bag, that's the dad tax. Those are my fries. You get everything else. And she was like, "You phantom taxing me, Dad. Phantom taxing me?
That's
What? What?
What?
What does that even mean?"
Phantom text?
And then hold on, we
oh,
got a couple more. We got a couple more. Tots,
Phantom text. That's new. I ain't never
Slang,
heard that before.
Ohio, Sigma, Cringe, Sus. Eight.
Sus.
Oh,
I heard
here's another one, right? So
Ohio and Sigma.
Oh, I hate eight. I hate that one
eight.
because
Okay, yo,
people
I'll
they do
tell you.
this a lot with it. They
Oh,
do
come
that. They're
on.
Yes.
like, "Oh,
I
you
heard
ate with
that.
that. I
Oh, you
hate
ate.
that.
You ate, and you ain't
I
make
Oh,
no
hate
crumbs.
that. Oh my God." People always be like, I'm like, stop with this. Stop. I just want to
So,
smack their hands. Like, what is wrong with you?
so all this slang, I swear, the slang nowadays. Although I feel, oh man, every time I hear it, it's so funny to me. And the other thing too is that because it's all everything is connected, we all online, that
Mhm.
the minute that something happens somewhere in the world, a new slang term, everybody know it instantly. Right. So it ain't
Mhm.
like it's regional slang terms anymore. Everybody know this stuff all right away. So anyway, that's my first one. Oh, okay. Here's one that's kind of real old man. Every time I'm trying to find a parking spot and it's in like a real crowded area or whatever, I'll turn my music all the way down so that I can concentrate to find that parking spot. I feel like that's old man. Man, Justin, you do that too. And then
Hey,
That's all.
man, that's
that ain't old man. Okay.
let
So
me
the
tell
other
you, I
thing
do it
too is
all
that I
the
get
time.
excited about any
Just,
kind of good parking spot that I get. Right. To
Justin
find
Justin
a
had his
circle.
music. music up loud when he rolled up on us downtown. We at the arcade. He pulled over. Boom, boom, boom. Where you park at? That's
Uh,
Justin. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't know that Justin knew how to drive for a long time. Do you remember that, Justin?
Until I
Justin
told
had a car, and I guess you just don't see it until you believe, or you can't believe it till you
Like,
see it,
no,
right?
man,
no. Did I
I ain't
tell
never
you about
seen
in
you drive
college?
before.
I told you about in college, right, Bobby? That story when I
Well,
said,
Justin was driving a whole bus of kids around and stuff, and I'm like, man, I
I
never
had a
seen Justin
van that I
drive
had
like
to
that before.
drive.
"Oh,
I
Do
had
you
a
have a
van that I
driver's
had to
license? Is
drive.
a question.
okay."
I have my driver's license.
Can I tell this story real quick? Just 2 minutes, real
Yeah.
quick.
Go
So
ahead.
my senior year in college, Justin, you were a sophomore, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Justin was a sophomore. And so if anyone knows my little brother, he thought I wasn't cool, so he would hang with me only when he needed a ride back home or he needed a haircut or he needed something, but he thought he had his own little group of friends and I was just his brother. So he thought I was
Uh,
goofy and I wasn't cool enough for the cool kids, even though I was the coolest. But anyway, so I'm super senior. I'm living off campus and I have my little apartment. I had like one or two classes. You know the era, Bobby, when you about to graduate, you just kind of like whatever, you taking your last class. And I was just kind of working. I was like coasting too. I was coasting through that last semester. I'm like, yeah. So I'm going to my whatever seminar it is, and I'm walking from my apartment, and then I'm on campus. So you remember where the was it Og Hall or Celery? What?
I think it was parked at all.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
those
it was
songs.
Og Hall. And all of a sudden, pulling up real quick in this like Pontiac Montana, just with the big wide turns. I'm looking. I'm like, that look like my brother. I ain't never really known Justin. To Justin be like, Justin don't be driving. He hit me up for a ride if he need to go somewhere, right? And I was like, Justin. And he must have been in a bad mood, or he was just being Huggy Bear Winnie the Pooh that day and didn't feel like talking. It's like, what's up, man? I ain't know you be out here driving. And he looked at me. He looked at me and he put the key in and locked it and looked at me. He was like, what's up, man? He was like, what's up, man? Yeah,
Robbie,
I'll be driving. I'm
We in
like,
custody.
driving who? Driving the kids for the program. What you talking
Oh my
about?
God.
And I
For the
said,
people program.
I was so like confused because I was trying to talk to him, but he wasn't talking. He locked the key. I'm like, he pulled up. One, it's a couple of things that happened. He pulled up real fast and experienced, like he'd been swinging, with the big long, the long steering wheel.
I, I was
And
driving
he,
that
and then
little
he
van for a
and he
minute.
locked the key and just walked away and was like, yeah, it wasn't a bye, bro. I'll see you later. Love you. He was like, yeah, I've been dropping the kids off. This is for the internship, for the program. Yeah. And he walked away, and I was just stunned. I sat there, and I think I called Bobby. So I
I
said,
remember that.
I
he
called Bobby.
probably was gonna say, "Why don't you just call Uber and don't bother me?"
Yeah.
That was funny, man.
Yes.
Bobby is all the way in California working, and I called Bobby. I said, "Bro, you wouldn't guess who I seen driving this van." And
I
he
remember
he
that.
act like he didn't know me.
I remember that.
Your youngest brother, he didn't
Oh
even
my
talk to
God.
me. It was the funniest. I couldn't.
Justin.
I think I called Dad
Now,
too. You remember?
I don't know if
Call
I was
everybody.
ever, like, because I didn't like driving that van because that was during the era when I didn't have a smartphone and like I had to read directions off a printout of MapQuest while I'm driving these kids like all around town in Madison,
Oh yeah,
trying to get them to and from these internships. And so like I remember like I think that day that Ryan caught me in that parking lot, I
17
was
years
dr
ago, son. 17 years
man,
ago, son.
like I was 18 or something, 19 or something. And like I'm driving these like these little 16, 17-year-old kids to these internships. And then like I get a call like that day, like when I'm dropping some kids off, oh, you dropped them off at the wrong place. You got to go back and get them.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, dude, I'm like, all right, man. So I go to my dorm room. I'm printing off directions to their next internship. I gotta go back and read stuff on the highway, like, oh, I gotta turn here and all this stuff. And like Ryan probably did catch me in a bad mood. Like I don't know if he did or not, but like
You act like he
that
didn't know who I
probably
was.
that probably was true. I probably was in a bad mood driving kids all around town because like they had me hot.
I was like,
Yes, I
dang, you
remember
act
that
like you don't know your big brother. What's up, man? I'm saying, what's in there?
crap.
Well, like, but no, they had me driving that little van for a little minute though, like, because that was part of because I was a counselor for people program. That's what they had me doing.
I ain't gonna front though. They came through clutch with the little fleet vehicles because when I was doing their little program stuff, they you can get you a little fleet vehicle and you can roll around.
Mhm.
Rest in peace, Jacqueline DeWalt. She was amazing. Me and
Yeah.
her, we didn't always, me and Jacqueline DeWalt didn't always see eye to eye on stuff, but she changed and revolutionized the affirmative action and DEI for a lot of inner city African American youth in Milwaukee, and she was revolutionary. So I mean, and Jackie, I think passed away. So it's been some time since Jackie passed away. And me and her, we were like this, but I had a lot of love for her. I had a lot of love. She helped me a lot. She helped me a lot, and when you don't really, it was things that she got on me about and that I thought was kind of unfair, and I didn't realize it until now that she was really trying to help steer me and do things for me and for my life. I remember that. And she, even though I felt like I was being stubborn and hard, she always made sure I had a job. Always made sure I had a job. She gave me a job, gave me multiple jobs when I was in college, and she helped me get my first job out of college when I went to go work with Target. Um, she set that up. She set that up. So rest in peace and God bless to Jackie because she did amazing things for not only me but for Justin and a bunch of the other cohort.
Yeah.
So sure.
They had us walking to school, walking to
Oh yeah.
class. I had a van to take y'all around. Okay, let me go to my
But we had
music.
multiple vehicles. Don't trip. In the summertime, they had the program
They had
had
a free
about
bus
like they
pass.
had
They
like yeah,
get they give us free bus passes
they
too.
had like 10 cars and they had 10 cars, 5 trucks, and 5 vans. They had that thing running she had that thing running so nice. And then like all of the counselors, if they needed to take the students back and forth, we had counselors that could move the counselors around, students around, and the staff around. They had that
I
thing running.
had 10, what did you say? 10 vans, 5 trucks,
And
a
five
bunch of
and
bus
like 5 vans.
passes,
If 5 vans, like they had vehicles on deck.
and I
Yeah.
They
had
was
two
plugged,
shoes.
they was plugged in.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so yeah, go ahead,
I
Dave.
was right along with you, man. In
Yeah.
college, it was a good thing I lived on campus. Everything was so convenient. I had to walk in them cold Iowa doggone snowstorms
Yes.
up and down hills and stuff, but it was walking distance. So as long as I could eat, play ball, and go to school in the same place, I guess we survived.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Okay, that reminds me of another one. I got just two more old man things. The first one is, so we were talking about how, Justin, you kind of look at some of the kids and they wear hoodies and hats, winter hats when it's super hot outside and wonder like what's going on. And so for me, I have kind of the opposite where it's when it's cold, right? And for me, like if it's lower than 60 degrees, it's cold to me. But when it's cold, kids are out here wearing flip-flops and shorts and short sleeve shirts and stuff and having there's no impact, no effect on their body at all. It's like they feel good in the cold. And I can't understand it, especially thinking back to when we were younger. And I don't know, Daddy, if you used to do this, but I know Mama used to do this all the time, where she would like make us wear long johns. I hated long johns. I hated going to school with them things. They got
And
hot.
those bright spring jackets.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about in the wintertime, no,
Winter
with the long johns
Mhm.
underneath your clothes,
time.
and the even with the snow suits and stuff.
Mhm.
Preventing
We
pneumonia
were,
though. It's
huh?
it was like preventing pneumonia and sickness and stuff because
Yeah.
we were
I
living
mean,
in
as much as I
extreme
hated it,
temperatures.
it made sense, right?
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Even
But
though
I don't see that type of thing. Now, granted, I don't live in the cold tundra, but it still get cold from time to time. And folks out here wearing wearing clothes like it's 90 degrees sometimes when it's 50,
Oh,
30, 50 degrees outside. So,
yeah. Well, you know what? If you looked at the news in the past couple of days, all the stuff happening in Minnesota, right?
mm,
I looked at that and I'm like, man, I'm glad I don't live there. Oh, God, snow on the ground, and they're talking, their breath, you can see that. People wearing hats and stuff. But I look and I'm like, a lot of them are not wearing, the coats and wearing these jackets, and no gloves or nothing like that. And I'm like, it's cold up there, man. It's like, it's in the single digits sometimes, especially at night. And
mhm.
they're just out there in jackets, like it ain't nothing. They must be used to it because I could never get used to that. And I lived there all them years. I just never could get used to any cold, snow all the time. It was depressing. You're having to move all this snow out of your driveway, and I'm like, God, I come out of my house now. I'm like, only thing I got to move out of my driveway is the car,
Mhm.
Hmm.
But back then it was like 2, 3 feet of snow all the time, and looking at Minnesota, that's bring back all those memories of that cold weather. Nope.
And what's crazy is that y'all keep the air on all the time now where you live. When we
Mhm.
used to live in Wisconsin, the heat was on all the time, all the time.
Yeah, all the time. And you know what? In Wisconsin, we had no air conditioning. There was no
Oh yeah.
need for air, because it's not a humid hot. You only get a few days of hot weather where it's like 90 degrees, only a few days, But yeah, the heat stayed on in the house all the time. And down here, in California, the air conditioning stays on all the time.
Most days, yeah.
It's all the time. You got, it's regulated. So if it hits a certain, what is ours, Justin, like 74 degrees or something like that?
Yeah. And I remember
It's
like in Wisconsin, like whenever it got hot, like the basement was always like the cool spot to go to. And like
yeah,
that's
10
how
degrees.
that's kind of how we kind of function in the summer times, like go to the basement and cool off. That's kind of what it was.
Yep. It was at least 10 degrees cooler down here.
Hmm.
At
Yeah.
least every year, at least 10 degrees cooler, and then you had that bunch of fans going, but it's nothing like, the weather we have here in Houston and in California.
Well,
No.
you know what? You know what used to always, boggle my mind, but I think it's just people of different cultures and people that come from different geographics and just people that have just different ancestry that have different types of blood and different bodily makeups than we do. Is we would be, I mean, going to school in Wisconsin, it was very, very extreme, right? And I remember, like, I would be sitting in Charlie's, and Justin can attest to this, sitting in Charlie's, and I would see people, even in class, they would wear like coats and they would have shoes and flip flops. It'd be 2 degrees outside, two
Oh
degrees,
yeah.
and
I
they would have a parka on, but then I'm like, you're not covering your feet.
wearing shorts and
Where,
slides. Yep.
yeah, yeah, shorts and
Mhm.
slides. It was a lot of this like, and it was, it's a lot of this like mixed winter summer sort of outfits that just it made
Mhm.
no sense to me. And I'm like, I could never do that because I'd be in the bed sick for weeks. The other part is, I remember going to class and it was minus 10 degrees. And this always was, I knew that I was like, I'm not a cold weather person. Minus 10 degrees. I had these big Timberland boots on, blue jeans, thermal pants, thermal shirt. I had a sweater on, my put scarf on, a hat, a parka that came down past my shin. And I remember breathing. And I remember the breath, like little instantly, like crystallizing onto my, turning into ice on my scarf. And I'm like, this is a doggone shame. I went to class on top of Bascom Hill, and I had a Spanish class there. And this is like, I don't know when this was. It was probably in the middle of my college career, undergrad. And it was so hot, like your body couldn't regulate, and I was late. You know what I mean? And I remember it's like minus 10 degrees, and inside of the building was like 100, and my face gets all sweaty because it like instantly like, and I'm late, so I'm like sitting in the front, and then the professor is like, "Oh, I say calor, huh?" I'm like, yeah. I wasn't even saying. I'm like, it's 100 degrees. You got this. Oh, you got the old boiler like system in the back, and it's just pumping out heat. And it just, you just, the temperatures went from extreme to extreme from the outside to the buildings, and it just was just terrible. So,
I
nah,
say color.
yeah. I said,
Oh, it's hot, huh? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's funny. We should do a podcast just about college memories one of these days. By the way, for folks listening, Charlie's when he said he was sitting at Charlie's is a restaurant, um,
Sub spot.
subs, cheese steak, stuff like that. All right, and then my last one, old man related, is related to food, and it's I can't eat half of the stuff that I used to eat when I was young.
Mm.
All right, so and Justin, I don't think you eat this anymore either, but I know you, Ryan, and I, we all used to love the flaming hot Cheetos, all of that stuff.
oh, yeah, I can't
Oh,
eat
I
that.
mean, I'll still eat flaming hot popcorn. I won't eat the Cheetos no more. Like with flaming hot popcorn, I'll still eat that all the time.
Oh, that'd kill my stomach. Anything flaming hot, but I used to love it.
Mm.
Stuff like that that I I wish I could still eat certain things, but I can't. And I think that's just a sign of, getting a little older. Anybody else got an old man thing that
Oh,
we haven't talked about?
I got something. So I
All
think
right.
one thing that always was funny to me, and Daddy knows this story pretty well. When I got my first house off of a greenhouse, brand new, and and it was like the wrong neighborhood because it was just too many kids, and it was too many first time homeowners living in that area that was too excited about having, and everybody had 10 kids, right? So I moved into this house, my girlfriend at the time, and the kid like brand like and it was nice for the first couple of months until people started moving in, and everyone had all these kids, and the guy across the street from me, just wanted to set up a YMCA at the end of his driveway, and he had this hoop, and he was like the community person who wanted to feed all the kids. This lived right across the street from me. And it irritated me because these kids would be just playing basketball like it was a YMCA. I'm like, I told him, I said, man, pull that basketball hoop back in the driveway. I'm gonna end up, accidentally hitting one of these kids, and I don't want to do that. Pulling into my driveway, and I remember they always would walk on my grass, and I felt like Stanley from Friday. Like I remember going out there, and I told them, I said, "Look, kids, there was a whole bunch of them. Y'all stay off my grass, all right?"
Stay
Old
out my
man, Mr.
green.
Yeah,
Old man, Mr. Walker yelled at
yeah.
us
And they
today.
was like, "Why you being so
Yeah,
mean?" And then
great.
they was trying to talk crazy too. I'm gonna tell my daddy and tell him. I said, "Listen, go tell your daddy and tell your mom. You can tell them come down here, and I'm gonna tell them." I was doing just like this. I said, "I'm gonna tell them that you've been walking on my grass, and if they got a problem, we can talk about it. I ain't scared of none of y'all parents, but y'all stay off my grass and show some respect." And eventually it got through. You get what I'm saying? It got through to them. Now, I don't live in that neighborhood no more, but I'm still that way. Like, because even when like the kids come home from school, they'll litter and stuff here and there, and I like to keep my grass nice, and it's pride of home ownership. God has blessed us to have homes and stuff, which is amazing. But I think that's kind of one of those things where it's like I used to laugh, I'm like, oh, the great, but then you start, once you experience ownership and paying all of these taxes, and the amount of cost, like it's a huge cost, it's a huge blessing, but then it's also a huge burden on the home, because it's a lot of things that goes on to it, whether it's homeowners insurance, making sure that you have your landscapers in check, weeds, fertilizer for your grass. I mean, because anyone knows, in Houston, Texas, we have, the rainy season, we have droughts. You got to have that grass fertilized and cut. Otherwise, you can have a desert lawn. You got to have your irrigation together, making sure that lawn is watered correctly. And I think the thing for me is, and now I finally had, I ended up getting my sprinkler system working, because for I think like the first 2 years I didn't know how to work it. And my grass would just get burnt up in the summer, and I wouldn't water it and all that. But now I got it working, and so now when the kids, like litter on the lawn, I'm, you know,
out my
Get
greens.
the litter off my grass, Johnny.
You really do sound like Stanley from
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Funny.
Oh, there's old man Walker, Mr. Walker down there being mean. They know.
Crazy. I got one thing though. I think we can wrap up though. I got one thing. Are you done, Ryan?
Hmm?
I got one thing. It's like, this is, I don't know if this is not an old man thing, but this is a thing. Being cheap. You always hear this, you get what you pay for, right? And I always got in the habit of buying things that are a high quality so I can get my money's worth. Never be cheap. It's like, oh man, these thrift stores and all of this stuff, the Dollar Tree, I kind of stay out of them places, but you know, never skimp on something that's gonna cost you in the long run, you know. And that goes for you guys that, got your houses and stuff like that, and buy things that are high quality. If you got to spend that extra money to buy something that's going to last you an extra 10 years, spend the money. You know, I always had that. My father, man, he was just the cheapest guy on the planet. I mean, he would go on the south side of Milwaukee. He would never buy from black-owned operated businesses. He would go to these stores, man. And if you walked into our house when I was growing up, it was a rainbow coalition up in there because he bought all kind of furniture from everybody, and it was different colors, nothing matched, and it was all cheap. It was all the cheap. It was just so cheap, and we would lay on that stuff, man. In 2 months, it would be all sunken in and discolored, whatever it may be. I learned over the years, you buy high quality whatever it may be, it's going to last you. And I got things now that, 30, 40 years I bought, I still have, and they still operate as if they were brand new. And that's because I paid a high price for them back when I bought them. But I think that's an old man thing. And I think I learned that from my father buying the cheap stuff, just kind of translated over to my, now that I'm, older. So, that might be a lesson for you guys to think about. Don't be cheap, you know, don't be cheap like with your women either. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. We got some folk in this family, boy, that's just great. When it comes to them girlfriends and them wives, Jack, I mean, hey, they be holding on to that money like it's like that money's in the fist, and you can't pry it loose. You know what I'm saying?
I could
It's
give a
like,
whole, you know what? I think at this point in life
ah,
with that, I could probably give a master class on that, but I digress. I could literally do like a master class on that. But
them
yeah,
brothers won't spend no money, man. It's like, oh man, them brothers won't spend no money, but you get what you pay for.
yeah,
You get what you pay for. So
yeah.
that's an old man lesson, I guess.
Good. Thanks, fellas.
Excellent.
Good episode.
Hey, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that. It helps the channel. It helps us, allows us to keep making these episodes for you guys. So appreciate you all. Happy New Year and stay blessed.
Don't be cheap with them likes.
That's
All right. God bless.